don't know what's going on with that. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know what's going on with that. Oh. Let's see. All right, I think we're good, people. Let's see. Let's test it out. The internet's been kind of wonky. You know, they're still doing all this construction out here. So oftentimes they'd cut our cables and jank them back together. All right, let me mute that. Log in here. Okay, one more second. Come on. I mean, incorrect password. Get out of here. I'm trying to log into my own frickin' Spotify here. Copy code. Not Spotify, Shopify.
PSB, if we match the price, it's lower than our costs, so Nick's emailing them to figure out what the heck's going on.
Yeah, I don't know what that is. Like, that's on their website.
Yeah, we saw it.
$299,
Our
$179.
cost is like $315, so
Yeah.
we'll look into it. Maybe we can get it.
Yeah, that's wild. Yeah, because I didn't get an email or anything from them. Yeah. Okay, today, where are we at here? So I just want to see where I'm at. Get out of here. All right, welcome to, you just have to skip ahead in the video, the live stream. Welcome to Black Friday. I am actually supposed to be at LZ's, but I decided to come up here this morning. I want to walk around the garage, give you some good ideas. Maybe we can, maybe after the video we can go timestamp it and you can send it to your significant others to give them some Maddie advice on what you actually want for the holidays, not some bull crap from AutoZone. What's the old Walmart bucket? You know, like what's that the Armor All bucket? Yeah. Do you get that? And then you have to bear and grin it. You have to smile. Oh, thanks, Grandma, for the freaking garbage. You know, that's junk. So we're 137,000 to start today is where we're at sales wise. So let's see. I'm gonna do a couple hour stream here. We'll see where we're at the end. So hopefully you guys can go and put your orders in and jack us up to 500,000 by the end. So we'll see. We did a little differently this year in that we opened up inside the Hex for Monday. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, inside the Hex members could purchase on the Black Friday discount. I really hate that whole Black Friday deal starting the first of the month. So I fought it a little bit, but the guys talked me into it in order to put the speed or increase the speed at which we can ship things out. And so, you know, the Hex members are going to purchase anyway. And so let's just open it up to you. We don't have to really advertise it. We can just send a, you know, sort of a private email to everybody. And then we don't have to play that stupid game of, you know, Black Friday sales start in, you know, in October 1st now. It's freaking stupid. So anyway, those orders have been in, and I'm sure that the teams over there will stop the stream here in an hour or so after I kind of go through all the stuff in the garage and some ideas, some things that I think you might be interested in buying. I also got some Coke and stuff I need to open up, but we'll go over to the warehouse and see where they're at a little later. Let me see if there's any questions I need to answer for you guys first, and then we'll get started running around the garage. Let me pop out the chat here and let me go to live. Let's see. Good morning from Lakeland. Good morning from Harbor Hills. Well, that's right down the street. Let's see. Absolutely love the new home series. Keep it up. Definitely would like to see more and more and longer running time. Yeah. See, this is my argument. You know, people. You know, every other comment is, you know, you need to make it shorter. No, I don't think so. If it's good and it's interesting, I want it to be longer. You know, I've said this many times. A part of the whole thesis of the whole Obsessed Garage experiment for me was one of my favorite movies of all time was The Stand. It was a miniseries on TV. It was like 6 hours long. And I'm like, man, I wish it could have been longer. You know, and so that's always been my thing is that, well, what if there was a paragraph or two in there in between the construction that might have been something that could connect us. And so, yes, one could argue that, well, if you shortened it up, maybe more people would stay involved. But I think what happens is it's a natural weeding mechanism. It's like, you know, it's like Darwinism, where the natural selection of the dum-dums go away. Because if you value something, you'll always make time for it. You know, people argue, well, I don't have time to watch a whole hour-long whatever. I say, I don't buy that. You know, if you find it interesting, I bet you the people that say that have all kinds of wasted time in their life. And so I'm going to keep making them long because I don't want to cut out the good stuff in between. Marcelo says hello from Brazil. What's up? Let's see. Good morning from Scotland. Aren't all our guys from Britannia from Scotland? Yeah. So Sean and the whole team is from Scotland. Or not the whole team, but some of the team from Britannia that is doing the tile at Adam's house. We're about to go meet them there this afternoon. They're probably already there working. Let's see. Hello, placed my order last night. Thanks, Garage Fanatic. Appreciate that. This LZ series is going to be one for the books. Excited to see where it pushes OG. I'll make the hour drive down to see the new OG HQ once it's up and running. So here's what I'm thinking about doing, and I know I'm sure the team's going to fight me on this, but I don't give a crap. I'm the boss. We're going to have an open invitation to when I first moved into the 322 building, the building right next to this one, the first part, and my parents moved down, and we ordered shelves, and the shelves came, and I just put a call out to everybody in the Facebook group. I said, hey, anybody want to come help us? We could really use the help. And so I'm going to do the same thing. I don't think we really need the help. It certainly would be nice, but I think that people would want to be involved in helping us move over to the new building. So the new building is on. December 31st is the close. When I'm closing on it, we'll probably be moving, you know, January, you know, that it'll be a good time to do it because a lot of people will be off and they can come down. And some people probably come from all over the country to come spend a couple of days and volunteer some time and help us move. We're going to move the two buildings over into the new one, which I think will be a lot of fun. I know that that's something I might be interested in doing. LZ says, let's see, I'll likely be available much more. Just wanted to block out some time in case it gets hectic. Both brands have laundry lists for me filming Black Friday stuff. Yeah. Okay, so he's going to meet me down there, and he hasn't. I'm sure he's gone into the house now, but he hasn't seen, you know, the update on the project because he was in Japan. So anyway, I'm going to organize it, do an open invitation to get while I watch. Yeah. So this weekend, I promise, I'll get the video up in the Facebook group of I did 24, which is weak sauce. I wanted to set a good like attainable baseline so that way I can annihilate all of you at the end. So we'll see. I think I'm good for 50 plus. We fixed all the sound stuff. Let's see. Free shipping included Puerto Rico. No. My black dial sub date has been bomb proof. Let's see. Is the Rolex Starbucks OG spec? I think so. That's the only one I got. I got two of them. Let's see. Just renewed my Hex Plus to get that 15%. Nice. I'm telling you, the videos in there, I think they're freaking great. So even if you're not doing the full Hex Plus, even if you just do Hex, I think it's good. Yeah, see, smart people think that, that longer is better. And then if you don't like longer, just freaking click through it. And I do it all the time. We all do it. We all do it all the darn time. That's what's so great about the YouTube. It's freaking awesome. All right, let's see. I'll be there as a standby paramedic in case things get sideways. I like that. Hit me up with a flight ticket. No, how about you get your own freaking flight and come down here? I'm not paying for everybody's flight to come down and experience. People should be paying me to come be a part of this. So any our tools, including the discount Milwaukee. I don't think Milwaukee is. Yeah, Milwaukee's not part of Black Friday because the freaking margins are terrible. But Sonic Tools are. And I haven't finished the Wera, haven't finished the Koken stuff yet. So, but that's coming. That'll be for sure next year. All right. So, how's our thing doing? Is it cutting in and out? Dang. I don't like this. I've got 4 unread messages somewhere. And I don't like that. Let me just go click off of these. This is some riveting live footage as usual. Okay, one more. Somewhere I have an unread message in my messages. That is unacceptable. As Michelle's sister showed me, her email inbox was like 5,800. I almost had a heart attack. 5,800 unread emails. Like, how's that even possible? He's like, I don't have the time. So you think I have the time? Why does everybody think I have all the time? The only reason I have all the time is because I do the work to have the time. It's crazy. Okay. All right, let's take a little stroll around the garage here, and I'll come back to your questions. So if you have questions, put it in there, and I'll come back to it. But let's take a little stroll-a-roo around here. I'm going to start in the corner here and talk about all the different stuff. What's going on with my lights? Oh, let me just turn these on so we can see a little bit better here. And we'll talk about some products. I haven't gone through the garage here in a while. But I think this is now we took off we have our black pipe somewhere that we took off because they're doing some testing, and so we're using the hose reel a bunch. But the OG vacuum solution is, I think, one of the best products we've ever come out with. The coolest thing about it is and this is why we work so hard on this, trying different versions of it, but it's the main unit. Most of the sound is coming from here. The main unit is less than 60 decibels, which just makes the user experience so much better. So when you're using the vacuum, so I erred on the side of we have a 7-8 year motor in it, and most of our garage is going to be 20-year motor. But even if you needed to replace the motor, it's like $150 or something like that in 6, 7, 8 years from now. But I erred on the side of choosing the less robust motor because the less robust motor, the through design motor, actually has quite a bit more suction. Because we tried some of these big, giant Nilfisk commercial ones, and they had huge CFM. So they had moved tons of air. So if I had like a bucket of rocks and I was sucking it up, it would do great at that because it had massive volume capability. But when you were using it in a car, it just didn't quite have the suction that we needed, because you have water lift spec and then you have this CFM spec. And so you want a nice balance. And so we first tried some of these big, giant, hefty commercial units that had tons of CFM capability. Basically moved tons of air, but they didn't quite have the suction necessary. And then when we did the bigger, heavier duty, the 10, 15-year motors, then they operated at like 70, 75 decibels, which was just obnoxious and annoying. And they still had a little bit less effective, they had better spec, but it just didn't feel like when you're actually using it in the real world. The real world suction capability wasn't as good. And then when we finally decided and settled on this, I'm like, well, I talked to Grant at Modern Day, who manufactures this specific unit for us. I said, well, can we make this, you know, can we pack it with some more packing to make it a little bit quieter? Can we find a muffler? My muffler is actually outside, which I wouldn't recommend because when you put the muffler, there's no reason to cut the wall. We put the muffler outside, we gain like a 1/4 decibel of quietness. So the muffler normally you would just stack up right next to the unit. I think it actually looks better when you have the muffler stacked. And so we found a round muffler that matches the style. We had them change it to black, and then that gave us a little bit less, you know, volume or noise. And so you end up with I think, a really great looking system. We send it with a sticker not put on it because some of you may just want to leave it badgeless. And nothing's worth in trying to get a paper sticker off. Ours is a vinyl sticker. And so doing all of this testing. And then we found, well, if we did a 1.25" hose instead of a 2-inch hose, I think this is technically called an 1 3/4" hose, that you'd end up with a whistle. And so it ended up whistling too much and was really annoying. And so we went back up to the slightly larger hose. But when we went to the slightly larger hose, then we had to find a cuff. This isn't the cuff that we send with it. Again, Tommy and Bryce have been testing out some different units, so they kind of tore this apart a little bit. So we could switch back and forth really quickly. But finding the cuff that then fit the accessories. And then, of course, the accessories are a big problem because nobody on the planet makes good accessories. So we've got the best of what exists, but even these are like not even close to what we want long term. And so then this is a lot like pressure washing when we didn't have M22 14mm direct fittings. We didn't have fittings or male fittings. We had female fittings, but not male fittings. So you didn't have a coupler with a proper distance M22 connection or threaded connection on it. So we always had all these frickin' problems trying to connect with adapters and all that stuff. And so similar issue with vacuums that I'm hoping to solve at some point in the future. So we'll continue to work through that and figure out, you know, how to make it better, how to make it. We're actually talking to Detail Factory about the possibility of making and engineering our own line of vacuum accessories to get, you know, what we need, and make what we need available. And a lot of people are always questioning in the videos when we do these, like, well, what about changing the bag? You know, I would want bagless. Bagless is freaking nonsense. I don't think there's a single great bagless vacuum on the planet. The flex version of a shop vac or a rolling vac has a bag. The rigids don't have a bag. You know, the suction capability, the dust filtering, all of that stuff is so much better when you have a bagged system. Now, this isn't wet dry, and so you can't use this in a wet application. But if you go around and you look at like the best home vacuums, they usually have a separate drag behind canister, which is annoying, but they always have a bag. In order to get proper filtration, you need a bag. Now, I'm telling you, you're gonna fill up this bag like once every 2 years, you know, unless you're just sucking out, you know, some gnarly crap, or if you're a professional. So maybe a bag a month. And then we do have the option, if you want us to custom make it for you, where we can do a separate catch can, a bagless big giant catch can with separate filters for it. I told Grant at Modern Day, I said, I don't think anybody's gonna want that. Just freaking, the bags are like $3 a piece. Just swap it out. Takes 2 seconds. You just pop the top off, change the bag, good to go. So anyway, this I think is the best vacuum system. We actually have 11 other vacuums in the, I'll show them to you a little bit later, that Tommy and Bryce are testing. So we're gathering data of the different vacuums in the market. How loud are they? What's their water lift? What's their CFM number? And a bunch of other specs that we're kind of working on to figure out how to test and compare. Shoot, I've got to change that. So Viper chairs. This one, the one thing you got to know about I forget what version they call this. I don't remember what the versions. I'm usually really good with model numbers on the Viper chair. This one, what do they call this one? They don't put it on the darn thing, but this is the one that the horizontal version. So one thing I like this chair a lot, and then put the back on it. This is probably my favorite sized chair.
The only thing to keep in mind, and I don't think they've solved this yet, we put some RTV in here, is that this chair rolling around stock kind of vibrates. This center beam vibrates around a little bit. So you have to modify it a little bit and put a little RTV on it. But I do think that this Viper chair, for detailing, for working on your car, for just regular use, it's quite a bit less money than the main big chair. But I find I use this probably 3 to 1. You know, this chair versus the big one with Fat Boy on it that I was sitting on at the beginning of the video. But these are on sale as well. What else do we have here in the corner? I don't talk about this light much, but we use this quite often. The LEDs aren't great on this. I think it's probably 3K as the color temperature, but these we do stock. I think this is one of their best products use-wise in the lighting area. Most of the Milwaukee lights are pretty terrible, but I do like this hex light quite a bit. It works off of a 5 amp hour. I have an 8 amp hour battery in here, but normally you would put like an HD 12.0 and the sucker will last all day. These I don't sell, but these are pole jacks from, let's see, OTC is the company, and we've gotten tons of use out of these suckers. Viper and Levrack work together quite a bit, but Levrack and this, I think, bang for the buck, storage-wise, this is the best solution available. So when we first set up this garage, I had 4 of these 36-inch closets, the Sonic closets. And so those closets are, what are they, like 78 inches tall? These are 80 inches. No, these are 90 inches, I believe. Yeah, these are 90 inches tall. So you gained like 12 inches per cabinet. It's 30, these are 30 inches wide, so that you can get these in 30, 36, 42, and I think 48. So you can get them in wider. But I think I gained the equivalent of having 6 total of those cabinets where I only had 4 in the same spot. And then of course I gained 12 feet of storage space up above where I can keep my wheels and things like that. And I think this whole setup was like $5,500 or $6 grand or something like that. So versus I think these are like 12 or $1,500 a piece. So I was able to gain quite a bit of storage for quite a bit less money than regular closets. And then of course, you know, the beauty of this system is that I can just sort of accordion style roll from one section to the next. I have it pretty well loaded up. I'd guess, you know, we probably have 10,000 pounds worth of stuff in here, 8,000 pounds worth of stuff. It's pretty well loaded. And then I keep, I got some LE polishers that we're testing out. I've got my Ego blower in here. My plan is to eventually, when we get the new building, is I'm going to have a little lab in the back where I have a bunch of this Levrack stacked floor to ceiling where I can keep all my stuff back there and keep it out of my garage, and then have a place for everything for, like, you know, I'm testing out, you know, are we going to do these type of quick release things from Wera. Shoot, I got my Evo Turbo sitting here. It just came yesterday. So I got my little Turb ski here, little FP green. And then I've got it outfitted with some Built Hammer stuff I'm testing out. And Built Hammer, I think we're pretty close to finalizing the deal, but I'd like to, we're going to be bringing in touchless and a Mac, and really probably, hopefully the whole line at some point is the plan here in the future. And then I've got all my Rogo stuff. I talked to Rogo about the possibility of being able to offer this and making my own versions of these and making it in an OG color rather than in this yellow color. I think it'd be really sick. Why is that? What else do I have in here? So I've got other storage here for, we got some Mirka stuff I'm testing out, some Mitsubishi fluids, which will go away once we finish that project, and then more fasteners. So I think I have 12 of these total. 1, 2, 3, 4, 8, 12. And then these are some, you know, Porsche parts, my plug patch setup for doing any plugging of tires. I got some Milwaukee cases left over, and then we rated this for the Adam LZ project, but this is where I keep all my Milwaukee stuff. So I have all of my Milwaukee tools set up in here, and what I'm planning to do is build a tool grid system for this, so I can mount stuff on the wall and on the ceiling, and so that's part of the plan. The long-term plan is to build something that will work long-term with Lev Rack, where we can put all our Milwaukee tools and outfit it in here where everything kind of clips in place. But we rated all these for Adam's garage, or Adam's house, so we have all the stuff there. Nussbaum, great news on Nussbaum. If you're thinking about ordering it here for Black Friday, it is on sale. Nussbaum's all German, only German lifts are being imported. They're only weeks out now instead of, shoot, we'd gotten to one point where some guy was waiting like a year and a half to get a darn lift. So the company was purchased by a new corporation in Germany, and they've done a much better job of getting the distribution model set up. We talked to them again at SEMA and saw the German lifts. They're freaking amazing. Mine technically is a German hybrid American lift. So all the guts are German, and then it was built and assembled in North Carolina. So it's not quite as good. Like the operating unit here is a lot bigger than what the all German version was with the submerged Bosch pump. This one doesn't have a submerged pump. So although this has been great, the all German version of the 7000 is incredible, and so those are now available. So if you order one, Kyle and his team, if you need some help with it, you can just reach out to design@obsessedgarage.com. Kyle and his team can kind of help you figure out how to get one to your house and help you make sure if you need approach ramps and stuff like that, get you all set up. If you have an Evo and you want to buy an STM exhaust, I have to sell this. It's too loud for me, so I bought it, put it on the car, drove 1 mile, and knew instantly it wasn't the right exhaust. So anyway, that's exhaust number 5 or 6 or something like that. So anyway, I think I'm gonna call up Busher and try one of those, because the Fujitsubo I have on there is too quiet. So you guys have to get this. If you don't have this light, this thing is freaking awesome. The line lights from ScanGrip, we have these in stock. They are on sale. The line light is incredible. So this is the underhood version. If you're gonna have one of them, this is the one to get. And then it comes with a little magnet so you can mount it to stuff. But this thing is amazing. I'm in love with with the line lights. I think this isn't the one I ran over, but I ran over one of them. Oh yeah, this is the one I ran over. It's still the one. This is my original one. I literally ran it over like where it was cocked like on the lift, and it didn't break. Freaking awesome. There's 2 settings. Very lightsaber-like. Sick. I don't talk about this enough. I need to talk about this thing more. It's really, really, really good. Super lightweight. Battery's pretty decent, but you would, like, if you were going to work on it in your car, you would just plug it in and just leave it plugged in, and then it would telescope to mount to your, either for your interior mount up on between your doors, or you'd also put it under hood in the trunk area. I use this thing all the darn time. That's why I keep it out. I don't put it away. I keep it, a magnet set up right next to my stuff. So audio stuff, the audio packages are on sale. This is a great time to buy it, from all the way basic, advanced, ultimate. So the audio package I know can get confusing. You can always email me. I'll be monitoring my email all weekend while I'm at Adam's project, but you can email me if you need some help with the audio stuff. Again, my email is matt@obsessedgarage.com. The system in here is the dream. Core 59s, 2 core subs, AC 658 NAD, DAC. So this is the preamp. The amplifiers are in the speakers. This is the dream system. The system at my house garage is a 5.1 surround system, which is kind of stupid, but I did it because I can, and because I love this stuff. I probably use it like 5 times, but I just like looking at it every time I drive in the garage, which is a common theme for me. I like looking at the stuff, accomplishing it, having it, more than I like using it. But when I do use it, it's such a magical experience. But you kind of work your way down from, you can do Core 59s, Core 47s, Core 7s, then you can go down to LYD, so LYD 48s, LYD 8s, LYD 5s. I used the LYD 5s, not on this desk setup, I have a different one here, but LYD 5s at my office at my house. And such a great setup with a little core sub, little sub, not core sub, the sub 9S, little 8-inch subwoofer. Such a great combination. And then I can help you get what you need. You need to buy a different DAC. I don't have access to that DAC to sell it, but I can make sure you get all the cables and everything you need for it. But all the audio stuff is on sale. Most of it's in stock. That's another thing to mention, that if you see something that says not in stock, it'll say reserve your spot. And so because of the size of our warehouse, I can't stock as much as we sell. And so we're doing just-in-time inventory. And so if it goes to out of stock, still purchase it. We'll have it within days. And so Drew and my dad and Chris, the team, the purchasing team, they're monitoring everything that we're selling. They're placing orders. All of our vendors are on standby. And we'll be, through the tech support team, we'll be updating on the website at the very bottom of the site, the out of stock page. It'll be telling you, so let's say you bought 20 things, 3 of them were RYS. We'll split up your order. We'll send the 17 things. The last 3 things, we'll hold your order, and we'll hold those 3 things until we get all 3 of those, and we'll ship it out, unless we get to a point where one of the things is back ordered longer term. But I would buy with confidence. And worst case scenario, it gives us leverage to go to the vendors to say, hey, don't be shipping this out to other people. We already have it sold. Get it to us. And with most of the manufacturers, I'm the biggest purchaser of them anyway. So I do have some pull, but it helps me even have more pull if you purchase the product. We instituted that at the beginning of COVID, and it's worked out famously well. And so don't be afraid to buy something and reserve your spot. And we'll be sure to update you regularly via the out of stock page. You can always just come to the site, go to the out of stock page every day. Manny and the team, as soon as they have information updates, they put it up there. If you don't want to wait for that and you're clamoring to get something, you can always email support@obsessgarage.com. It'll go in their queue. Just know that the whole team, both shipping, support, me, everybody is in a little bit higher demand. So know that it takes a little bit longer, to get access to us. But generally speaking, this will be the fastest, most efficient year we've ever had. So we have new software, we have new people, we have people well trained, we have a whole team set up where we've already pre-assembled stuff, pre-made boxes. So at some point here, we'll take a look at the team and how they're doing here today and see where they're at. Let's see if we've moved it all from a sales perspective. Ooh, 147, so we're 10 G's up. Nice, keep buying. I need to be able to pay the mortgage on this new building that I bought. So let's see, let's kind of run through here. How's your back doing, Waba? You want to put that on a tripod? Hey, good. Let's see, as we go through products, this is the new Halo V2, which I haven't quite tested out yet. I don't know if I'm supposed to show you that. Pretend you didn't see that. Let's see, I'm not using Gliss Deluxe as much anymore because I think if you're going to coat your wheels, you want to buy this. We have this in stock, Armor's wheel coating. It's really, really great. I'm using nothing but this, either 1 layer or possibly 2 if you have a daily driver. Of course, XOV5 and NCSL are the standard that I think are still my favorite coatings because of how slick, how they look, how they perform. I keep coming back to them, try other stuff, and I don't want to put anything else in my car. I'm sure someday something will supplant it, but for me, it's my favorite combination. I'm still using the blocks. We have some promise from Meguiar's with their new little block thingy. I'm going to try to talk Marcus into bringing that one out separately. We'll see. Meguiar's doesn't do anything quickly. Of course, if you want the old standby, the old Power Lock Culinite, I can't tell you the last time I broke this out and did anything though. I think it was my speakers I put Power Lock on. But generally, now that coatings are so much more accessible and easy to do, and they perform so much better now, I mean, I find myself using that less and less, but I can't seem to get rid of it in the store. Maybe we'll keep it there forever just for nostalgia. And then this, I end up using this a lot on all my exhausts, anything in the engine bay, Dr. Beasley's metal coat. This is a good thing to have in the drawer. You put it on your exhaust tips. It helps, you know, keep them from getting all black, and also helps you clean them a little bit quicker. So I'd highly suggest grabbing a bottle of that if you don't have one. Another thing that you need to get, you need a Tornador if you have an air compressor, and then you need all these Prevost Bros. I think Mike grabbed one of these to take to Adams, but I think he grabbed 2 of them. So normally this drawer is filled, but these two, like having, especially if you have the Prevost couplers, I think you want the Prevost S1 version of their what do we call it, blower tips. We've been talking a lot about polishers lately, but all the polishers, I don't think the Rupes is on sale, so we skip over the Rupes stuff. Griot's Garage is on the sale, and this guy. Yeah. Every time I grab this, I do this weird smile, I'm sorry. But these are on sale, pretty light stock, so I don't have a lot of these. And they don't have a lot of them, and I'm sure everybody else is selling them now, which of course no one knew squat about this. But I would, if you're thinking about buying one on the sale, get it now, because I think there's a good chance they'll go out of stock and you won't get it by Christmas. So just keep that in mind. Let's see, what else do we want to talk about here? If you don't have one of these, we have these in stock now too. You want to get this is the Rag Company clay sponge. I've used this. I don't use the auto scrub blocks anymore. This is so much more efficient, works really well. It's a little bit bigger surface area, but I can still get in all the tight areas. So this for your decon claying, you definitely want this sucker. You do want to have some Tornador for sure in your cabinet. I use this all the time for wheel or for tires. Someday we'll convince them maybe to bring M39 back, but I still have this is probably worth like $10,000 now, right? So M39 was the best for plastics, but and then the color lock system for your leather care. Go get the color lock stuff, because it's something I think you'll need, especially shield. So you need leather shield, and you need leather protector if your leather's a little bit older, and definitely mild and strong cleaner with their brush. So you definitely want the color lock brush. They made us a Obsessed Garage version, and then you definitely want where was my shield? Yeah, you want leather shield, and then you want where's my cleaners? Cleaners are back here. Yeah, that's artificial cleaner. Mild cleaner you'll use all the darn time. Same thing with strong cleaner. So if you're going to buy anything, get shield, mild and strong cleaner, and the brush. Get yourself a color lock sanding pad if you have any Alcantara, because you might use that. You need that at some point to sand off some of the fuzzies. It's a great thing to have. You need tape, 3M precision tape for sure. I always have a roll of the 1/4, which I very rarely use, and we do the 1-inch and 2-inch. This is still the best tape to use for taping off a car. We do have Griot's Fast Correcting Cream in stock, which I think from a beginner perspective, or if you're not polishing all the darn time, I think the combination of Griot's Fast Correcting Cream and Sonex Perfect Finish, you can do like 98% of anything you're going to need to do. Fast Correcting Cream will cut a little bit more than Jescar will, and it's pretty darn bulletproof. Like the Meguiar's DA course is more aggressive. I'm sorry, not Meguiar's, Rupes. That was a Freudian slip there. It's probably based on the Meguiar's formula. So the polishes to have: Jescar Correction Compound, Griot's Fast Correcting Cream, Sonex Cut Max, and Rupes Blue. Those are the 4 heavier ones that I have in my cabinet that we have in the store. And then basically Sonex Perfect Finish. So those 2, the combination of those 4, that I liked having 4 different cutting type polishes and kind of work through those. What else do we have in here? I don't think we have this in the store yet. I don't think I want to have that in the store. What else do we got in here? I don't think anything I sell in here. We need to get those gloves. This is all my regular stuff as well. Nothing there. Yeah, these gloves are great. So if you're looking for gloves, I don't sell these yet, but Astro Grip, these are my favorites. It's got this little diamond hex. They're not quite as good as they were before. Long story, but they were buying them from some company in Australia that got shut down or something like that by the government, and so I don't know what the whole story is, but they had to change them. So while we're at it, let's take a peek at what we got here from Koken. So I placed my Koken tool order. I unboxed a bunch of it. This is the second batch. I'm pretty sure these are the sockets for me. So I've said this a billion times, and yet the internet still won't let me off the hook here. They still think they know more. I love this. This beautiful organization. Just magical, amazing organization. Best foam. I would argue, lots of mechanics are like, yeah, if you're a real mechanic, you can't have this. I'm like, well, why the heck not? If I was a real mechanic, I'd absolutely have to have this. Where everything is just dialed and organized, and I know when I'm missing a tool. I'd wipe my tools off. Especially if tools were like my entire existence, I would spend a good percentage of my week managing, cleaning, maintaining my tools. And I would take great pride in that. And yet these dirtballs just chuck everything in the drawer. That's nonsense. I would be taking extra effort. Okay, something isn't looking great. Okay, I can see a stress fracture in here. I'm going to make sure that I, either get a warranty or I order another one or do whatever I got to do and pre-plan. And I would, assess my tools as I put them away every night. And I do that all the darn time, and I'm not even a freaking mechanic. And so having a high level of organization, having an organization system like this, or having something like, Tool Grid, where you have all your tools nice and set up and organized. I took one out to take to LZ's. But having structure for your tools, to me, I don't know, especially if this is what you did for a living. What's going on here? He's messing with me. That is not how that goes. That goes like that. That's just the dream, to be able to have this. And so I'm spending a lot of time and one, with Sonic, building out a structure of, I think these should all go like this instead. Yeah. Sorry, getting sidetracked here. So I'm building a structure of, with Sonic Tools to start. So Sonic Tools has never been, never was, and never will be my end-all be-all. But in the interim, I wanted a organized system with structure that looks beautiful, that are nice, great, great tools that function really well, that aren't like a total waste of money. You know me, I like wasting money more than anybody. But I don't want to waste a bunch of money. I want to have some good quality stuff, but I don't want to spend, like, for example, when we did our case study of Sonic versus Snap-on. Snap-on was $47 a tool on average, and Sonic was $15, like $15.50 or something like that. And so it was 3 times the price for tools that I found to be worse in almost every category. They're greased up, they're slimy, they're just not. They just don't look good. They don't function any better. So I'm paying 3 times more. The warranty is a bunch of nonsense because I can take a picture of this and have a new one here tomorrow. And so the warranty argument is a non-event. But I've said this a million times, Sonic is the current structure for me personally, and so that's what I sell in my store. And so the goal would be to swap for best in class in each category. So I'm assessing that, figuring out which category, which product I like the most. And so I think that I ordered all the HasZat stuff. I thought HasZat was going to be my favorite. And then I discovered or started buying the Koken stuff, and I got the catalog, went through the discovery process of the catalog, and now I've gotten this, and then I can just tell as soon as I get my hands on it. Like, these are the ball grip version. Like, just look at the finish on these, the way that they put the little detent in that hold for how the ratchet holds the socket. This isn't, I don't have to like clean this off. It's brand new. So I shouldn't have to like degrease it and clean it off. And these are 1/3 the price of, maybe 1/2 the price of an inferior Snap-on tool. You guys can buy Snap-on all you want. I'm not doing that, and neither are most of the people that are watching this video. So you can keep buying it, go for it. I'm not doing that. I can buy whatever the heck I want. And because I'm doing all this work to figure this out, look at how freaking sick this is. Because I'm doing all the work to figure this out, I'm going to be able to provide a lot of value to people. So all the grease monkey mechanics that are all pissed off at me, who was that guy? Mr. Subaru guy is all mad at me, and he was talking about, you don't even know what you're doing. So, okay, well, watch me. I think that at the end of this, imagine I have this set up with the best combination of sockets. Like, I think all of these I want from Hazette, except for the nut grip version from Koken. So I think I want to have all the Hazette titanium version, and then I have all of the various Koken sockets, and then I think I like the Koken ratchets, and then to have that drawer over there all designed and set up, have this drawer all set up with Knipex, and instead of having this with you know, the nice, okay looking Sonic stuff, I have this all set up with Stahlvilla. But as of right now, these are still, the Sonics are still my favorite ratcheting wrench. So having the various brands all set up, all structured, all done in one place. So maybe we'll come back to this and we'll put Mike on a tripod here, and I'll unbox all this and then put this the rest of the way together. But that's my philosophy, and what I think that I'm headed toward with tools is to be able to make an amazing foam inlay setup of the best tools in each category, or at least the tools that I like the most in each category. And because of the time and energy and effort that I'm putting into this, and because most people, even the people that work for the darn companies, haven't gotten a full grouping of tools together like I am, even, you know, the people at Koken or the people at Stahlvilla, they're not as good at shopping as I am. And so I'm shopping the catalog to figure out what I might want, and then I'm overbuying what I will need, and then figuring out what do I need. And then I can share that same information with you. Yeah, look at that. So this is the Z series stuff. And the back drag on this, and the amount of play in this. The only thing I'm not in love with, so I love the handle, I love the finish, I just don't like this part. I know I'm nitpicking here, but I don't like that kind of, I know there's a reason for it because, you know, I don't know, it's grippier, but I feel like I wish they had a little bit better, whatever you call that, switch. But that combination of how they have the little pocket in the socket, that's pretty legit, man. This to me is the most freaking fun. I just love doing this stuff. So I've had to do a lot of work. I mean, I'm easily 100 hours into figuring out what I even wanted to buy. Oh, look at that little bro. That's so nice. I think I like the ratchets with the ball bearing release. I don't know if I have any in here. There's a lot of ratchets that were on back order. Yeah, so here's the ball bearing release, or the push button release version. So when you put your socket on, I like that better than the push-pull version. I think this is it, people. I think this is the ticket. Ooh, and then these are what I'm excited about. So, Wera, I bought them all. They had a version of this sort of the nut grip version where you put there's a little ball bearing in there so it'll hold the nut upside down, so you're kind of pulling something out. So it has this little clip system on the ball bearing that allows you to hold on to a nut or a bolt. And the Weras were just kind of a little bit janked. I just didn't like it. But these guys, they make the best wobble as well. They make the best. Yeah, look at that. I just like the fit and finish of this. Is freaking beautiful. It's right there, made in Japan. Just precise. The finish is awesome. Man, it's so good. All right, let's keep rolling. Here's Bryce's new. I can't talk about this yet. Bryce's new paper towel holder. It's going to be like $7,000. We'll see how it goes. This is something that I think I see this a lot. I need to spend some more time on this. This is for Adam's master bedroom. This is the Sennheiser Ambio Max, which I have some videos. So there's the Ambio Max, and then what's the other one called? The Ambio Plus, I believe. So this is a fully immersive, single speakered, what do you call it, sound bar. So I have this in we call it the B team room, so the main family room that's attached to the kitchen, the one that's, the TV that's above the mantle. And I have the Ambio Max on a mantle mount, which I wouldn't recommend because it's freaking heavy as crap. It takes like 2 people to push the mantle mount up, because this thing is like 80 pounds or 60 pounds or something like that. Maybe it's freaking heavy, whatever it is. But I have the Ambio Plus in Kate's little, guest room, playroom thing. And so I've been able to play them back to back. This Ambio Max is such a great experience. It's not a full immersive home theater experience, but it's as close as you can get to it. This, for any secondary TV, I also have this in the basement at Helen. Any secondary TV where you want some decent sound, it could be great for a garage as well. I'd still prefer to have like a dedicated garage system, connected to the TV. But if you're primary TV watching, forget this Sonos Arc nonsense. That thing is the worst frickin' soundbar ever. The Blue Sound soundbar is terrible too in comparison to something like this. This to me is the best soundbar on the planet. Now it's $2,000. But you can see the sucker is like a serious piece of home theater equipment. They have their own wall mount. Stay tuned, the Adam LZ Master Bedroom. I'll do a whole nother video on this. I'm trying to convince Sennheiser people to come down, trying to convince Jared to come down and really dig deep into this with us. But I need to talk about this more. We do sell this. It is on sale. It's in the store. We have a couple in stock. If we don't, it comes in a day or so. We'd love it if you'd support us. But if you're thinking about a sound bar for the holidays, 1,000,000%, this is the one. Either this, if you can't swing this, then you go to the Ambio Plus. Hit us up, hit me up, hit up Tommy at obsessgarage.com or Matt at obsessgarage.com. I don't know if we have the Plus in the store. We should if we don't. But if we don't, we can order it for you for sure. But I think you want to consider that. It's the best darn thing ever. So then if you're doing a desk setup, this is coming soon. So I think what's going to happen here is I think I'm going to stay in my house and we're just going to modify it. So I'm going to do floors. I'm going to redo the kitchen. I'm going to do great appliances. So I think that my current house in Windsor Green, I'm trying to get the community fixed so we can have the gate functioning. Once I get the gate functioning, I want to get that stupid concrete that when you're driving in the community fixed. And shoot, even if I have to pay for it my darn self, I might end up just doing that. And trying to get the HOA to kick in, everybody kick in and get it done. But that house, I want to modify it and I want to redo the office again. I want to redo the interior design, or actually do the interior design. I'd love to, again, I'm going to do wide plank, white oak flooring, plain and fancy cabinets, redo the pantry with obsessed garage, Aspire, closets, and probably do a bunch of different tile work and stuff like that. I want to put the sauna in. I needed to redo the front yard and then eventually build the garage over the course of the next several years. So part of me, I'm doing the Adam LZ project. Mike and I will be doing some projects at my house. But what's happened with our family is my kids were going to the Villages Charter School, which is this amazing school that the Villages is the biggest retirement community in the world. The family that built the Villages is a single family. They developed the whole thing, so they're billionaires. They're smart. In order to attract doctors and lawyers and hospital workers and professionals and landscapers and roofers and tilers and all the people that they need to support the infrastructure of this giant community that they're continuing to develop, they needed to build a great school. And so they built an amazing school. That school they built 20 years ago, and they said, well, we're continuing to develop further south, and so they built a new school called Middleton. And I cannot explain to you. Someday inside the Hex, I'll take a camera down there and show you. It is insanity. It's the most ridiculous school it like rivals IMG Academy, and it rivals the Montverde for sure. It rivals like a lot of the best schools in the country. It's amazing. The facilities. Again, like I said, I'll take you down there inside the Hex one of these days. But on the school, so the school's here, and they're building another town square with like a bunch of restaurants and shops and stuff like that. And then around that, in the same sort of streets, it would all be golf cart accessible. They built a bunch of little lakes and little man-made lakes, and then they're building home communities. Now, the houses there are not OG spec. The biggest house they have is 3,600 square feet. They don't allow you to, for example, you can only do a 36-inch range. They don't do hoods. They don't do, they won't even do hardwood floors. So you have to buy from their customized list. But it's very cookie cutter, very get it done, get in, get out. And so Michelle now works, she's got a full-time job, and so that school is 38, 39 minutes from us. And so what we're thinking about doing is buying one of those homes. And what I'm thinking about doing is do some sort of drop where we put it in the Destination OG portfolio, and I allow people to borrow that house maybe 1 week a month, for the whole year. So maybe I do 12 weeks, and you can come. It's like 45 minutes from Disney, and then you can sort of live in this town square with a golf cart. I'm thinking, well, that'd be a place where I'll get a GT3 RS and keep it there, and maybe that comes with the house or something like that. And so 1 week a month, so 12 weeks a year, we have that house, in the Destination OG portfolio, so some people can come. Maybe we schedule it where, you go to dinner with me one night, you come spend a day with the OG crew. We set it up where, you go to Universal and Disney, you do whatever you want. And maybe you can go, Mike will make you some stir fry or something like that. We can have it set up. But then we get that house for the other times of the week when Michelle's in volleyball season, and some nights we'll just stay down there. So I'm thinking about buying a house there, and then we'll have a whole nother grouping of projects where all that cookie cutter crap, we'll pull it out, we'll do plain and fancy cabinets eventually, and we'll continue to develop, we'll redo the lighting system and share that whole process and be able to continue to market and talk about and share the products. And so it's going to give me an opportunity to build another desk and set up another office. And we already have the desk systems available, so if you need some help with the desk system, I was just helping my friend Doug design one the other day. I spent a lot of time on this trying to figure this out. And so you can hit me up, matt@obsessedgarage.com. I'll help you design the system. Right now, this is my current favorite audio system for a computer. It's the NAD. This is the D3045. So this is an actual amplifier. So it's basically like a Blue Sound power node, but with USB-C connectivity and controllability from your computer. So that's connected to a pair of Evoke 10s. You can do Emit 10s, you can do PSB, P3s. I think this thing's $900, so that's an expensive start. But most of the DACs, most of the audio interfaces that are available for the computer really don't function very well. The universal audio one that I have in here, if anybody wants this, I'll sell it to you dirt cheap. It's just sitting there. It's a freaking $600 thing. But it was always crashing the darn computer and just not great. It's really, if you're going to be doing recording, guitar recording, audio recording, stuff like that. I'm not doing any of that. I'm just listening to music. And so the plan long term would be to be able to sell the audio systems, and then I probably would never sell the computers, but to sell an umbilical cord that's set up. So I have a PC system, I have a Mac system, and then I sell basically an umbilical cord, and we sell you the different types of desks. I have a few companies that I've been talking to about making custom desks. And so the desk is set up, and we basically have a wire loom that clips into pre-drilled holes, and so all your wiring looks like my wiring where you can't see it. This obviously wouldn't be the setup. This is my garage setup here. But we do the tops, we do the frames, we do the pre-drilled, we set up wire loom so that you can just plug everything in, and you don't have to be a wizard with wires like Bryce is, and you can end up with a really clean looking desk setup. And we can set it up for, okay, this is for this system with this type of computer and these type of monitors. And maybe I don't sell the computer or the monitors, but we make a recommendation: buy this monitor, buy this laptop, buy this stand, and then buy our package with the desk and everything, and we ship it to your door, and you can set it up in a few hours instead of shopping for the next 10 years, buying and trying and failing like many of us have done so much. So that's, I think, where we're headed. For now, if you want me to help you design it, help you set it up, I'd be happy to do so. But just know, this desk audio system is, what did I say it was, like $6,500 or something like that. So we can do some lesser, do lesser speakers, do not as crazy of a subwoofer. You need the bass NAD thing. But there's a couple of different ways we can set this up. I think you want the isoacoustic stands. And then this, of course, is the Apple monitor, which certainly isn't necessary. You want to tripod it up and let me answer some questions? Shoot. Shoot, I've already gone an hour? God, I just talked for an hour straight. No wonder my throat hurts. All right, let me go back to questions here. If anybody has anything, smash the like button. Rip Lady Lake Internet. Yeah. Let's see, Maddie, what happened? You used to never wear your Omega, and now you're wearing a Rolex with watch winders in your closet. Yeah, I don't know. I'm getting into it. So, what I realized is, my Omega is a 44 millimeter. It's just too big. It's not as comfortable. Like 40 millimeter Rolex is so much more comfortable. So I'm trying to get used to it. Let's see. How much for the bottle? $11.39. I'm keeping it. That's the only one I got. Let's see. Not that budget means budget here, but I plan on buying a polisher. What's the best bang for the buck nowadays? I will only polish one of my cars. Yeah, this is from Ralph Medina. I think that the griots would be a good combination. Get the 5-inch and the 3-inch, and it's hard for me because if you're looking, you don't really value the process, then you can save yourself a bunch of money by just doing something that's decent. It's just really hard for me to do that. Mondo asked, did you order the titanium set? So he's talking about the Koken titanium set. I want to. It's like $3,800,
for like a single ratchet and like, you know, a few sockets and an extension. If I become a Koken, like legit Koken dealer, I'm gonna ask them, they need to give me one of those. So I want it just for display. Yeah, so I have a full titanium set. It's like $3,800 for this little thingy. It's pretty cool. Well, remind me, we'll go into the Rousseau and the list of boxes here in a minute. Yeah, the Koken stuff is, I know lots of people have been using Koken for a long time. It's not like some new thing. But the problem I have with Koken right now is that, well, I want Koken in beautiful foam. And so putting that foam together has taken Sonic a long time to figure out exactly how to make it look the way they make it look. There's lots of companies that all these people send me, hey, Matt, you need to do this foam. And I see it, and it just always looks so janky. Like it needs to be dialed, and so that's going to take a whole lot of time to figure it out. But yeah, Gabriel L. says waiting for OG Spec outfitted toolbox. That's the goal. That's what I'm working toward. It's going to take me a while. Yeah, Facom is interesting as well. I may head down the Facom path. I didn't really like most of how the Facom stuff felt, but it's been a while since I've played with it. Let's see, if you're doing a one-step, would take longer. 5 inches is a good all-arounder. Yeah, I think you're right. Let's see, I need a one-click desk audio solution that includes everything. For now, just email me and I'll tell you, just tell me how much money you got to spend on it, and we'll get it set up for you. Let's see, pulling the trigger on the G15. My pockets won't commit to cordless yet. Yeah, I mean, that's understandable. And, the cordless is nice, but we've been just fine until now doing corded stuff. Have you ever considered an E39 M5 project car? Not really. That's Waba's spec, E39. I never really wanted one. I did detail one and spent a lot of time. My old mentor boss, Jim, had one, and I sold it for him. So I polished it and kind of dialed it in and sold it. So I just can't get over the wood trim and the old, Yeah. What watches are you looking at right now, and what brands do you dislike? I really don't dislike any brands. I just only like one, Rolex. I do like Omega, but Omega is not really a good store of value. The beauty of Rolex is you're storing value, right? I'm taking money, putting it in a watch. I get to enjoy the watch, and I'm not going to lose a whole heck of a lot of money on it, very likely. So my list is long and expensive. Let's see, I made a list. I try to hide this list from Michelle because on my my computer, my iMac is set up. Oh yeah, it's called data analysis. it's the data analysis questions is the title. Because when you see the title of the note, it says data analysis. I think she's already seen it though. But I want so the GMT Master, I want a Sprite. Even though I'm left-handed or right-handed, I'd like a right-handed. I think it'd be cool just to have one. So that's a 126720 VNTR is the model. I want a root beer. But not the stainless root beer, not the gold version. I want Pepsi. I want the white gold Pepsi as well. I want a white gold, the current white gold, what they call Cookie Monsters, the Smurf, which is a Blue Dial black face. And then I want a white gold Smurf with a Blue Dial blue face. Hulk, I think Hulk is top of my list right now. I want just a regular Submariner black face date with the date on it. T4, so I want a flat fork Hermit. I'd love to have that. A Panda, so that's a Daytona, a black Daytona, all black Daytona, and an Explorer. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. I have the Batman, and I have the Starbucks. So that would be a lot of monies that I don't have. So we'll take it 110. Well, maybe I'll sell. I'm going to sell the E36 and buy 10 watches or something. So we'll see. Yeah. So that's what I'm thinking about at the moment.
Let's see, any other questions before I get back rolling through here? Oh yeah, more questions coming in. Let's see. Yeah, this is funny. J Farm says Village is the STD capital of Florida. So what happened with that? I've explained this many times over the years, but there was an article, and I think the Orlando Sentinel, that a doctor was interviewed. This is in like probably 2003 or 4, where the doctor had said that there was a higher incidence of venereal disease per capita than average. And so then people extrapolated that and said, well, everybody in the Villages has an STD. And that's been the running joke for many, many years, which it was like a pull out of context, blown out of proportion, and then it just became this rumor. Because old people don't have to, protect themselves from having kids, right? And so they're just raw dogging it, and so the doctor basically said, hey, look, this is what happens when you do that, and so then the Villages has this stigma of being the STD capital of the world, but that's where that comes from. Let's see, did the rinseless wash bundle get taken down? I don't know, maybe. Matt, when's the next episode of LZ Project? What do you think? Probably be Monday?
Yeah, we won't be filming. Yeah, so it'll be.
Yeah, probably.
Tomorrow, but the day after.
Well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to get Wash and Talk on one of Adam's cars up Sunday. So I'm going to have Tommy and Nick come down. I'm going to shoot it and try to edit it that day and get it up.
Yeah, so then, next vlog episode.
So probably, the next episode will probably be Monday. Matt, happy Friday. Hope you guys had a great Thanksgiving. Same to you. Yes, we did. Used the Merca that you gave me when I picked up the Sonics box yesterday. Oh, this is Jeff. Jeffrey said, this thing is amazing and smooth. I told you. Anybody who gets the Merca, I'm not frickin' making this up. Ever going to do anything with a Golf R? Probably not. What did you eat for Thanksgiving, or did you just work to stay busy? So I went and did the most ridiculous freaking workout yesterday. Felt like I was on death's doorstep the rest of the day. So I went to the 8:30 class. It was 100 wall balls, buy-in as a team, so 50. So split all this in half because it was a partner workout. So 100 wall balls, run 400 meters. Then it was farmer's carry with 140 pounds, 100 meters. Then it was run 400 meters. Then 200 double under, so 100 each. So it's a jump rope double under. Then 400 meters, running 400 meters. Then 200 feet of burpee broad jumps. So you burpee and then you jump. And you have to make it 100 feet, and then your partner does the other 100 feet. Then 400 meters. Then 20 wall walks. 3 rounds of that. And then 100 wall ball buyout. So it took 58 minutes of just pure annihilation. And so then I came home and I had my shake and had a few almonds. I've been eating too many nuts lately. I need to cut that out. So I ate a bunch of the wasabi bowl, wasabi and soy sauce almonds, and a couple of the habanero version almonds, the whatever blue diamond almonds. Ate too many of those. And then I had a little bit of turkey and honey baked ham, and that was it. So I stayed on point. So carnivore's killing it. Let's see. I don't like the Datejust, and I don't like the dateless watches. So the Datejust to me is like the one you have to buy. It's kind of like, what's the Ferrari Portofino or whatever? Who the heck wants that? You want a Tributo, or, it's like you had to buy like Ferrari California in order to get a 488. Nobody wants a California. You want the 488. So I don't want a Datejust. I don't like those. No plans to supercharge the M3. Nope. Let's see. Yeah, we talked about stored value. The new Explorer 2 is 42 millimeter. Might find it a bit large. Let's see. Lewis still work at OG? No, Lewis isn't he at Publix? Is he working in the back in the Publix? And let's see. Let's see. Who's SC Hightower is that? Oh, that's mine. That is a medium. So I bought 2 mediums and 2 larges for the Helen House. So the Hightower has to get debadged and coated with a cage, a little water bottle cage I put on it. I bought a Envy water bottle cage, and so that's a medium that will go up to Helen House that people can use when they go up there. Haven't seen you use the tire mounting and balancing machine. Have your mounting skills improved? Yes, they've improved a ton. There was a mistake I was making with the pusher. You have to grab the pusher and walk it, and I wasn't doing that. And so now I can change out. I can do a set of wheels and tires in 45 minutes maybe now. If I really hustled, probably less. CJ says, what equipment do you recommend for a garage gym? I typically go CrossFit, but days I can't go, it'd be nice to have equipment. I'm Rogue or bust, Rogue only. So Concept 2 on the rower, Concept 2 on the ski erg, Rogue for the air bike, and then all Rogue stuff. Rogue rig, Rogue barbell, because I think Penlay went out of business. Penlay was my favorite barbell. I like the Rogue high temp. So they're made by High Temp, I believe in Canada, High Temp bumpers, and then you can't go wrong with all the Rogue stuff. So I buy everything from Rogue Fitness. All right, let's take a look at the toolbox. Let me show you this, and then we got to go over to the warehouse and see how they're doing over there. Ooh, this thing here. I'm hoping I got to reach out to them, hoping to be able to sell these. We won't sell a lot of them because but anybody who has a lift, anybody who bought a lift, you want this Samson oil catch can thingy. And I think I really need to go and get the extraction version because almost all the new cars, they have like a little port that you just screw the extractor nozzle on and suck the oil out. You never have to even put the car up. So I'm going to work on that. But I did get the Lista box. So let's just pull the Lista over next to the Rousseau and I'll show you what's doing here. This color, I like this color a lot. The red has grown on me a bit too. So the casters, I've got some work to do on casters. I think I'm going to go aftermarket and do my own frickin' casters. But Rousseau has a quiet version that we may do at some point, to try out. But both of these casters, I don't like either one of them. I didn't like the casters on the Snap-on either. The best casters thus far were the cheapest ones, which were on the Sonic. So anyway, this Lista box, I forget which color blue this was. It's called like Midnight Blue or something like that, or Deep Sea Blue, I forget. But the Lista box, couple of things to note. Like if you look at Lista versus Rousseau, and I'll make a full video on this, just look at this piece here. So this is a filler piece. And so the filler piece is nice and flush. And then, the way that they design the Lista, just not as pretty looking. The other thing that's kind of odd, and I didn't order this, and I didn't want this, but I think in a toolbox you have to have it. This has a lock on the side. I keep walking up to this and going, oh, and shoot, and I'm like, oh, it's not locked. And then I have to push the button to open the door. So the goofy thing of Lista is you can't get it lockless. It's got this stupid, if you get it lockless, this is what you get, this plastic piece of junk here. They didn't used to do that. That was a newer thing, and now they just did away with a filler, or ordering a box without a lock, and they just make it separate thing. So with Rousseau, I can buy it without a lock. This one came with a lock. I didn't order this box. I just bought what they had in stock. This one I actually ordered. This is the part of the reason why I've made the transition from Lista to Rousseau. This was always my dream, made in the USA, beautiful toolbox. I tried to order this box for like 6 months and I finally got it. And I still not sure, like some of the specs that are on it are not, like there's no way to tell what you're getting. And it's so complicated and so convoluted and so difficult that's why I finally gave up on it. I do like the look of this better, this type of flush handle better. But what Rousseau does, they're flushing up the drawer to the face, and that's why the handle protrudes a bit. And if you really think about it, that's a superior way to do it versus having the recessed face of the drawer. It's just a cleaner look. But again, I do like the style of the handles. But another thing Lista did away with is they no longer have an aluminum handle, so it's only the plastic covered handle. So they don't make, they used to make a brushed aluminum handle, which was my favorite. But here's a real big difference in the boxes. And I always thought that Lista sort of created this, but they didn't. So these are, shoot, what's the brand called? Asteroid or something like that. But these are Austrian drawer glides. And so the drawer glides then support, and there's no real center support in the drawer, but these are 440-pound drawers. And so if you watch, see the deflection? So there's deflection, but and there's always a little wobble in all big heavy drawers. But the Austrian drawer glides are smooth. They're really easy to open up. You just kind of, if I wanted to take this out, I just pop this little tab here, and I just lift the drawer out. Comes out nice and easily. But if you look at a Rousseau drawer, and this has nothing to do with the thinness of the drawer. So the Rousseau glides. So Rousseau sort of made their own type of glides. I'm pretty sure the Austrian glides were first, and then Rousseau kind of made their own. But there's a frame. So the glides have the same 440-pound capacity, very similar style, but there's a frame. And so if I go like this to the drawer with it all the way extended, notice the deflection difference. It's just so much sturdier versus, it's pretty remarkable, that brace, the bracing, the frame. So if I take the drawer out, there's a whole other frame that comes out all in one piece where there's connecting beam. There's a connecting beam on the front and back of the frame of the drawer. So rather than just having left and right slides on this big 60-inch box, like the Listas have and like pretty much all other cabinets have, Rousseau sort of invented this idea where these, I cannot explain to you how much different it felt in person. I couldn't believe it. And so same 440-pound capacity, which of course we're never really going to hit. But just something to take note. I've said this, apologized a bunch. I've freaking screwed up. I thought I should have gone with this first. I should have gone with this a long time ago. We weren't ready. Another reason why, and the Sonic stuff is still my go-to, still my choice in a modular design cabinet. But if we're going custom, we need a custom color, we need a custom finish, we need custom sizing. Then you've got to go with one of these guys. Another problem with Lista is they don't make a corner cabinet and they have no intention of making a corner cabinet. I think we need a corner cabinet. And so Rousseau is full modular, just like Lista. But all the bends, all the welds, all the cuts, everything is just frickin' better. Way better. Is it still chopping up? Is it not working?
Yeah, support's having some trouble too.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. See, people aren't really complaining too much. Shoot. So, yeah, I think it's very clear. Rousseau has an amazing cart. I can't wait to build the cart out. I'm going to try to make a full custom one exactly the way I want it. The little hazard assistant and a little Sonic have served me well, but we can certainly do a better cart. The fit and finish of the list is nice, but you can see the welds, the spot welds. You can't see that on any of the Rousseau drawers. So they just went the extra mile. I think I can get it without the goofy logo on here. I hope so. Pretty sure I can. But the other thing we've struggled with was like, okay, let's say that I wanted this toolbox all the time and I wanted this designed in my cabinet arrays. Like Lista won't make a SKU for it, and so every single time it's like you should have seen the PO list. It was like frickin' 17 pages or something like that. It was insane of all the different parts and pieces, and then I ended up getting the drawers that I didn't really want this stupid locking thing on here, and I wanted to have it with no lock, but I would have ordered with a lock had I known that it was going to come with the goofy plastic thing that like this just has to stay here forever. There's nothing to do about it. It's so dumb. So the Rousseau stuff, and I'm actually, it's grown on me. I really didn't like the pull style drawer, you know, to unlock, but it, let me see if it functions if I do it here. Yeah, even if I open it all the way on the edge, it actually functions pretty well. So, but for my stationary cabinets, I just want the drawer to open. I don't want to have this type. So we actually have one here where it doesn't have a handle that moves, and so the top is better. They make their own tops. It's the fit and finish of this, everything about it. This is the best toolbox in the world, no question, bar none. Unless there's some crazy off-brand that I've never heard of. And this was like $5,000. 5,500 bucks. I think it was less than the Sonic. Now this one's a little smaller, not quite as tall. So let's say at most, if you bought the biggest version of their box, fully loaded up, it's like $7,500 versus double that for a far inferior Snap-on box. Not even frickin' close. With fit and finish like no other. I want to get their quiet casters and put it on this thing, I don't think there's anything better. So anyway, I'm going to load this one up here with likely Wera and Koken. So this is the first Koken stuff that I had gotten. So this was the first batch of Koken stuff. But their wobble extensions are incredible. Oh, wrong size. So most wobbles, as you try to like put it on something and then it always pushes in. Like the way that their wobble snaps into place. First of all, I get 15 degrees of wobble. I just put a little universal on here as well. But imagine you have this capability where you have 15 degrees of wobble. It doesn't like naturally want to sit. Even the Sonics, the Snap-ons, all of the all the other tools, even the Hazets. When I use the wobble extension, it always wants to go locked place. But the way that they've set it up, it's so much better than anybody else. And then they have the low back drag. Man, look at how clean that is. This is it for me. I love this handle because it's comfy, it's grippy, but it's not going to get all greased up and dirty. You can easily wipe that off. Man, I like this so much. Yeah, but only Z-Series ratchets, but we don't have to do just Z-Series sockets. So those are all the extensions. I got some long extensions, some wobble, some non-wobble, some of these universal type joints. Some of their version of a universal. Look at this. This is like a double. Imagine you did a wobble. What is this? So you did a wobble. You can get in some gnarly curved areas with that sucker. Look at that thing. That's pretty cool. So lots of cool stuff from Koken, and then I just started throwing all the tools in here, but I'll grid this all out. Look at these. These I'm excited about. And they sell very easy to get, just little plastic, because these things get jacked up. So they make it so that you can very easily swap. And so if it were me, I'd order a bunch of these extra plastic collars, and I have a bunch of collars sitting in the cabinet, or we'll have it in the OG store, because these collars get jacked up often. And all the ones I always have, I always end up having to throw it away because I can't get a replacement collar. But this is perfection for an impact socket to remove your wheels. These are pretty nice too. Oh, and then they also have aluminum ones. Like I think this would be cool, like in a track bag or something. You just have the lightweight version. And these are full impact rated in aluminum. Freaking cool. But just look at how clean that is. Yeah, so good. Makes me want to whisper. I love it, love it, love it. And then they have the cool stuff like look at the Z's. So these aren't useful for everything, but a Z series, look at how compact that sucker is. Oh, it's freaking great. So great. You have the nut grip version of Universals. Yeah, man. 12-point, 6-point, and then the, I forget what they call this type of drive where you have a damaged bolt. It's part of their M series, they call it. Yeah, see, these are, is this a Z? Yeah. So the Z's have a little different finish, and they're a little shorter. So if you have, let me see if I can find an equivalent. Yeah, so non-Z versus Z. See if I can find a similar size. What size is this? 18. Yeah, these are similar size, so look at the height difference of the two. So you're probably not always going to want this because sometimes it won't fit right. And so you have the real low profiles, you have the normal profile, and then of course you have a full deep socket. Yeah, Snap-on has that too. They don't have quite as low of a profile, but they have a small, a medium, and a large. And these, like having these nut grip ones, which I wouldn't use all the time, but sometimes you're trying to get something out with some crazy wobble, and the nut is going to stay on the socket. This gets me fired up. I can't wait to get the Stahlville ordered. But I finished the Stahlville catalog. I think that's all I have in here for now. I finished the Stahlville catalog because, if you look at the Hazette stuff, so most of these Hazettes are not made in Germany. They're made, somewhere else. And if you look at like the fit and finish of these, I haven't screwed any of this stuff down yet. But you can just see the castings aren't great. This is made in Germany, but a lot of them aren't. So it kind of defeats the purpose of the German tool. So I don't like these nearly as much as the Stahlville stuff. These I do love. I love this kind of titanium coating finish. And I think these will fit well still on a Koken socket or Koken ratchet. Yep. I think I could get over not having the same finish just for these, because I think these are probably the best version of a, like a Allen or a Torx or an M triple square or something like that. This is clearly not the stainless, even though the stainless kind of useless, but the stainless is designed, you're really only supposed to use stainless when you're using a stainless screw, or if it's stainless fastener, I should say. But having all the different blade sizes, sometimes you can put the ratchet on. These Craftform 900s are ones that you can hammer on, so you can hammer through. So I, have in the various sizes. You can see I have a Craftform 900, and then having like the serrated tips is pretty awesome. I don't think there's any way I'm gonna try to become a PB Swiss dealer, because I think I like the PB Swiss Allens the most. But I know a lot of people love the PB Swiss screwdrivers because of the precision of them, but I don't know, the handles and the serrated tips and stuff really get me going. I think these are the ones for me, and I think it's some combination of this set here. This is narrowed down from 517 screwdrivers to 68. Yeah. So the rest of this toolbox is, we've got the more Hazette in here. That's the metric setup. And then, what did I do? This is the Nepro stuff, which I like a lot. I just think that the ultra high gloss, ultra shininess, I think I'm bought into the Koken version. Those of you who told me I would like Koken were totally right. And then I do like the Hazette ratchets. I just don't like the handle. These are 80 tooth. But what the Koken people were telling me about is oftentimes the way that the back drag works on this, oftentimes it'll skip the tooth anyway. So it's kind of pointless to have any more than 72, but they may just be telling me that because they have 72. Let me see. I don't have any 3/8 here. I need a 1/2 inch. So I think the all black handles are the 80 tooth. Yeah. I've got to screw these in. So there's quite a bit more play. Over a Koken ratchet. I have to use them and play with them and see which one I like the most. I think I have one more drawer here is all my sockets. I do like this matte finish. It's the internal matte and the kind of contrasting finish. But I think that the Koken sockets are the ones for me. There's nothing special about these. They're just okay. So the KWS is also on sale if you're thinking about doing that. So here's where you do the KWS. If I own a detail shop, I don't know, man. I'd be hard pressed to not do a KWS. The disadvantage to the KWS system over doing dual Krenzlas is the inrush or the current that it the pressure that it maintains. So it'll pressurize the line and hold it at like 3,300 psi, and so every time I pull the trigger, there's a lot of feedback, there's a lot of kick. But technically speaking, if you're looking for bulletproof, full commercial, run this thing all day every day. It does have a 30-second time delay, so it doesn't turn off like you would want it to with an auto. So this red box is a time delay rather than a direct pressure switch. So the time delay runs 30 seconds. So you pull the trigger, you release the trigger, it runs for 30 seconds, or runs for 30 seconds, then turns off. Whereas if you did dual Krenzels, dual 1322s, you have a couple of advantages in that you have redundancy of pressure washers. So if you're a detail shop or you're a high volume place where you're doing lots of cars, or you're like a collector studio or something like that, or collector facility, and you're gonna have people using it all the time, having two 1322s is cheaper than this, and it has redundancy. So if one of your pressure washer needs to go out for service, you're still operating, just not at full flow. Two Krenzels also gives you 4.2 gallons a minute instead of 3. This one does 3.3. So you get more flow. You also don't get that full, it doesn't maintain such high pressure in the line. But technically speaking, when you're running two Krenzels together in parallel, you could end up with potential cavitation problems in the future. It's really not designed to do that. Where this is designed, this is a 20 millimeter head. So the plungers are 20 millimeters. And so this big old electric motor is designed to be a frickin' tank. Now, if you do have to send this in for service, I can't imagine trying to ship that. It's going to cost you $800 to ship the darn thing to have it serviced. Whereas if you have the little guy, it's just a little bit more efficient that way. So, but these are on sale. I think what is it, $3,500, and so you're going to save yourself. If you're inside the hex, you probably want to go become a member and save yourself 15% on it. I don't think this one qualifies for free shipping though, because it goes freight. You need to swap a battery. More to come. We're getting closer. This is our prototype version on our DI system. Buckets are on sale. I did make the transition to the Griot's foam cannon. I think you want our Perfect Detail USA collaboration here with the Mosmatic plugs or Mosmatic couplers. This is the new shortened version of the Mosmatic wand holder because we shortened it because when I take my wand off and I put it in here, I can still reach it. Whereas on the original one, I had to like kind of try to pinch my fingers and pull it out. So although it looks a little stubbier, it's a lot more functional in this current. And it's also a little easier to fit, in position. So when you have the gun and wand on it, doesn't look quite as cool because the other one, the gun sits down in it. But on this particular setup, you want it this way so I can put the wand in, holster the wand there by itself. But those are in stock and are on sale as well. Same thing with full pressure washer packages from the KWS all the way down. We do have dual Krenza, dual AR setup. You can't do dual actives, it doesn't work. So we have the dual, you can't do dual cartridge either, it doesn't work. And so we have the full, duals, we have singles, we have custom install, we've got the portable. Remember the K1122 is on sale, double on sale. So it's $127 off, and then you can do 10% off on top of that and free shipping on it. So hopefully I don't lose money on it. And then wait till you see what we have coming for air compressors. Just some freaking crazy. You saw, if you watched the SEMA video, you probably saw it, but there's some crazy stuff we have coming. Press-all bottles are in stock as well. I don't have any update on the squeezable bottles, but early next year, press-all should be fully vetted. Stainless tips, new plunger head, so it should be good with alkaline stuff, and squeezable bottles, and then hopefully gallons following shortly with pourable spouts. And then we will be fluorinated with labels that stick, and so full press-all solution coming. If I'm interested in them, I'm not going to wait for any of that because you can always buy the stainless tips. You can buy replacement heads and stuff in the future. I still think, even in its current form, I want either blue or translucent bottles. I'm going to set up my whole array of detailing chemicals so I'm going to have a matching bottle. I'm not willing to wait for any of that stuff, and so I don't know that I would if I were you either. This whole setup is what, 200 something bucks. Buy some extra tips, buy a few extra heads. That way you can kind of service them and replace them. But eventually we're going to have a full matching lineup. It's going to be amazing. Microfiber's on sale as well, so all the microfiber stuff that I keep in my cabinet here is also in stock and available from the Rag Company. All the new Griot stuff, interior cleaner. I'd grab a bottle of interior cleaner. Make sure you get the GFX. We'll probably run out this weekend and it'll be over. I bought 90% of what's available, and so we do have quite a bit of GFX, which is the Christmas version. I'm telling you, my garage still smells like it from washing the Evo this weekend. It's freaking cool. So let's take a little break, and then let's go talk to the guys in tech support. We'll talk to Kyle and the design team, and we'll talk to Bryce and Tommy and see what's going on with the creative side, and then we'll run over to the warehouse, and then I got to go back to LZ's. So let's take a 5-minute break here. We're back? I think we're back. We came to a different building. Yeah, looks like we're good. Sorry about that, people. You know, we have fiber, direct fiber internet, and we've had it for a while. And this year has been really tough with internet connectivity because they've been, you know, working on repaving the road and cutting lines and rerunning conduits and stuff like that. So anyway, we're what's it, 10:50? We're already ready to load up a truck. We actually have a Penske truck outside that'll be unloaded a couple of times. We have USPS coming a couple of times. So we ship UPS, USPS. So UPS rented a truck, put it outside, so we'll be able to fill up that truck. So this is the first load of this morning's orders. We're at let's see, what did we start at? What did I say? 140, 140 to 140 something, 135. We are at 218. So thank you guys. Thank you for doing it. But the whole team is rolling. We now have 4 dedicated packers. Last year, I think we had 2. We have a much more efficient system. We've got also a whole team dedicated to picking much more efficiently. We're able to pick 6 orders at a time. We're probably finishing up or catching up with the inside the hex orders from earlier this week, right? So I always give the team off Wednesday, Thursday. So they work Monday, Tuesday. They take off Wednesday, Thursday. And then we work Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, all the way to, and we'll probably have some teams that come in on, Saturday next week as well. We'll see how quickly we can get through. But by splitting up the inside the hex orders, we were able to get Monday, Tuesday orders out almost instantaneously. So those of you hex members that ordered early, your order's probably on the way. Some of it may even arrive today. So the new software allows us to we have redundancies on making sure that we're making less mistakes, hopefully no mistakes. But the pickers are back here digging into orders, staging it for the packers, and the packers grab the orders in bins. It's all barcoded and set up to go out. And so you can see in just a few hours, normally that would look like a whole day, in the past. Would be a whole day of orders. So we'll probably fill that truck up and then some. My hope is that we can get Black Friday all orders out, except for the reserve your spot stuff. My hope would be able to get it out. It's usually on average taking us 8 to 10, 11 days. I'm hoping we can get it out in 2 or 3. So we'll see, 2 or 3 days past the sale. So the earlier you order, the earlier we get to your order, the earlier we get it shipped out. But we have some really dialed in team that really knows what they're doing now. And so not that they didn't know what they were doing before, but we have much more sophisticated software that's able to keep up with the orders coming in. Really, really cool. So, and then you can see we're fully stocked. We're also fully stocked up in my building up north. And so my dad and Justin and his team will be running orders and replenishing. And then we have a full stocking team as well. The guys next door, the tech support team has a staff of 4, so they're going to be able to answer questions quicker. But just bear with them because there's a lot of hopefully a lot of demand this next 3 or 4 days. And then I don't really know how to do any of this stuff anymore. I'm the marketer, I guess, so I don't really have to step in. And that's why we're headed back down to LZ's after we finish this stream. But Manny and the team will be up to date. They'll be working through the weekend as well on different shifts. I think they also have different shifts set up to work different hours during the day, so that way they're working a little bit longer, 10 or 12 hours a day instead of just the normal 8. And so we have a really, really good system set up to be able to make sure we get this stuff out the door and get us set up for December 1st starts our giveaway. We're starting a giveaway for a garage giveaway. And so Bryce and Tommy and Nick are actually preparing for that right now. So they haven't had to spend a lot of time messing with the other stuff. But you can see the packers are rolling. We're able to skip a step now, where we used to have somebody print a label. Now they're printing their own labels and rolling through orders. Really freaking cool. So I just talked to Kyle. The video cut out earlier, but the design team is set up to take and work on, I don't know how much capacity they have to do designs today, but at least set you up with your future appointment We charge $2,500 for 20 hours worth of time because we've gotten so many. It's been amazing how many people have had requests to get their garage designed and rendered, and then quoted and set up. And so we charge $2,500 for 20 hours worth of time, and he's running 10% off of that, 15% off for Hex members off of the design fee. So even if you're not sure when you're going to be doing design, if you're thinking about doing it, you can save yourself a couple $100 by hitting them up. Shoot an email, design@obsessedgarage.com, or go to the design page on the website, and you can find out information about that. And then, like I said, if you need questions on support@obsessedgarage.com. If you had questions about audio stuff, just give me a little time. If I don't get back to you, which I'm sure I will, I'll make sure to extend you the sale on the desk audio stuff and setup, desk audio setups and garage audio, things like that. So anyway, I think that's all we have for you today. I just wanted to show you the hustle and bustle of the warehouse. It doesn't feel as chaotic because we've got this thing down, man. We are freaking good at this now. Continued improvement, continued pursuit, continued chase of making the process better. Just wait until I get our new warehouse. We'll be moving in first week of next year. Just wait until you see what we're going to put together there. It's going to be amazing. So thanks for all your support. We'll see you at Adam LZ's, and lots of really, really cool videos coming up in the future. Thanks for being here. We'll see you soon.